Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics. Hey gang, what's up? Just Ehren right here, Question Period Canada. This is going to be a wild video, guys. How about changing the voting age to 16? A non-affiliated senator named Mary Lou Mcphaden from Manitoba is putting that bill forward through the Senate. It's at its second reading. It's pretty wild. It's pretty crazy. When I first heard it, I was like, they can't ever... I've heard a little bit more now. I've done some research. Maybe there's something to it. It does make me very suspicious, though, why a non-affiliated senator is putting this bill through, because all the senators are affiliated, guys. There are no independent senators. That's a ruse played on us a few years ago. Anyhow, let's take a look at Mary Lou Mcphaden. She has this wild bill that she's going to try to put through the Senate. It'll change a lot of things. Keep your mind open. Who knows?
Good morning. Bonjour. Tansi. Thank you so much for making the time for being with us today. We have been gathering members of this panel from coast to coast to coast, and I am Senator Mary Lou Mcphaden. I'm hosting the first ever national summit, the Ottawa Summit, on Vote 16, and everyone here will be speaking this afternoon, and we'll also have a parliamentary reception this evening. In a nutshell, we're here because Francophone young leaders more than 20 years ago came up with the idea of lowering the federal voting age to 16. And over the past 20 years, numerous attempts have been made by various members of parliament from different parties to bring in a bill to actually accomplish this. I'm the first senator to introduce a bill on the Senate side to lower the federal voting age to 16, and my bill is still active in the Senate. We had a very powerful speech yesterday, and we will be revisiting the issue again next week. But today is about the Ottawa Summit on Vote 16, and two key takeaways from the research that's been done ever since Austria was the first major country to lower the voting age at all levels in its country in 2007. And the research has been done almost daily since then, and now what we have is a big difference between 20 years after the first bills were introduced to now. 20 years ago, it was all about opinion and prejudice because there was no research. 20 years later, we have a lot of credible, published academic research from a number of different countries, and a number of those experts are here with us at the summit. And it comes down to this: nothing bad happens when you lower the federal voting age to 16. It's all good. In fact, in the words of the Conservative leader in the United Kingdom, after changing her mind about this issue, she said, everything is positive about lowering the federal voting age to 16. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome and ask my parliamentarian colleague, Mike Morris, to say a few words. Mike.
Well, in case you'd like a little bit of background on Mary Lou Mcphaden, she was nominated to the Senate by Justin Trudeau in 2016, I believe. She's about 72 years old. When she was a young woman, she was one of the most accomplished female lawyers of all time to that point. She's been a career activist for women's rights. So that's a little history on her. However, she was nominated to the Senate by Justin Trudeau. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Anyway, this one is Mike Morris. He's a Green Party MP from Ontario, first one ever elected there, has been sitting since 2021. And here's what he thinks about 16-year-olds getting the vote. Let's take a listen.
Well, first of all, thank you, Senator Mcphaden, for your leadership in demonstrating that this issue will continue to be raised, because we have young people across the country who are going to continue to ensure that parliamentarians hear from them, hear their experience, as well as the research that shows that voter turnout increases when we reduce the voting age to 16, that we see more engagement in our democracy, and most importantly, that we recognize that it is young people's futures that are on the line with respect to the decisions that are being made by parliamentarians, and so it's imperative that we involve them in their democratic right to vote. And so it's an honor to be a part of this conversation, but even more so, I think it's so important that through this summit, young people across the country are coming together to continue to organize around Senator Mcphaden's piece of legislation and around ensuring that parliamentarians from all parties continue to hear from young people in their communities that they're going to continue to advocate to reduce the voting age to 16.
Thank you, Mike. And now I'd like to...
So stranger things have been going on in Canada, guys. There's no doubt about that. This lady was Mary Lou Mcphaden, was appointed by Trudeau to the Senate. And now, before she has to retire, she's making this bold move. I don't know, like if you listen to some of the information that's published, you could possibly think that this is a good idea. It just seems really strange and suspect for the Liberals to be pulling this right now, calling themselves non-affiliated senators. They're all affiliated, guys. Let's see the young people that she's involved with.
And a number of years ago, I received a 6-page letter from a 15-year-old high schooler who was on his own mounting a campaign in his home city around lowering the federal voting age to 16. I immediately connected with him, and I now would like to introduce you to no longer 15-year-old Alexei Trovenyan, and he is the national coordinator of Vote16.ca, co-hosting the summit today. Alexei.
Thank you, Senator. Good afternoon. My name is Alexei Trovenyan. I am the co-founder, general coordinator of Vote16 Canada. We are a national advocacy group dedicated to the extension of voting rights to 16-year-olds in federal, provincial, territorial, and local elections. The highlight that I wish to share today is that 16 and 17-year-olds are ready to vote. There's a growing consensus in neuroscientific and social science literature that 16 and 17-year-olds have the mental capacity to cast a vote. According to the research by world-leading expert in adolescence, Dr. Lawrence Steinberg, 16 and 17-year-olds have the mental capacity for the long-term, thought-out decisions involved in voting, cold cognition, as psychologists call it. 17 countries have now enacted this change around the world, and as the Senator indicated, the results are overwhelmingly positive. I want to highlight research done in Austria, Belgium, and Germany, which has found that 16 and 17-year-olds also display adult levels in the quality of their vote choice. They are able to make their voting decisions as effectively and as competently as adults. I encourage all senators to vote in favor of Bill S-201, the Vote16 Act, at its second reading vote in the weeks ahead. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Alexei. Not that long ago, I guess it was maybe in January, I was able to be in Surrey, BC, and I had great pleasure to meet Ravjot and also her colleague Jaya, who's here with us from Vote16 BC. Over to you, Ravjot.
Thank you, Senator. So, good afternoon, everyone, and I would like to begin by thanking the people in this room and those who will be attending the summit later today for contributing your time to this event. I am Ravjot Sarao, one of the two co-leads of the provincial Vote16 BC campaign, which is aimed towards lowering the minimum voting age requirement to 16 in British Columbia and federally, and encouraging youth involvement in politics. As a part of this campaign, I aim to create a space for myself and others like me in the political system, where our concerns are not only heard, but also acted upon. Youth today contribute substantially to all aspects of society. We run businesses, volunteer, work, advocate for causes that matter to us, advance STEM innovation, and do so much more for our communities. There is no reason as to why we shouldn't get a say over the decisions that directly impact our future. As a 17-year-old student and social justice advocate, I firmly believe that youth aged 16 to 17 years also deserve the right to vote. Canadians are beginning to understand the importance of giving our youth the right to vote. I have been involved with Vote16 BC for the past 3 years, and over my time as a part of this movement, I have witnessed our communal support increase substantially. This is evident in terms of the number of civic organizations, community groups, municipalities, and government representatives who support lowering the voting age to 16 in Canada. Organizations such as the British Columbia Teachers Federation, BC Government and Service Employee Union, and numerous other labor organizations are just a few of our supporters. Vote 16 is a promising cause that will help shape Canada's future positively, and I'm thrilled to be one of the youth leaders at the forefront of this movement. Thank you for your time, and I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Rajot. And there's not room here on the podium, but I do want to indicate to those who are watching and may have an interest in interviewing that we have the co-counsel as well as 3 of the litigants, young litigants, who are bringing a charter challenge to the Government of Canada for based on discrimination on the basis of age, on the issue of lowering the federal voting age. And we also have young leaders with us who've traveled here to Ottawa, including Sophie Robinson, also from Vote BC, and Keegan Newman-Boyd from the Yukon, and we have also from young leaders from Brazil and New Zealand. So we're all here, and we very much welcome your attention. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see any question online or in the room, so that would conclude the press conference. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
So it's pretty hard to believe, gang, that 16-year-olds might be voting in Canada the next election. Who knows? Crazier things have happened. I was unaware that many nations across the globe have a voting age of 16. It's new to me. Anyhow, we'll have to wait and see what's going on. My name's Ehren. This is Question Period Canada. We have a great time watching the Question Period live broadcast daily. Come and check out our fun chat and great community. Besides that, check out one of the other videos floating around here. We'll be following up this story, I'm sure, with Mary Lou Mcphaden. It's a strange one, guys. Anyhow, like I say, Ehren, like, subscribe, get notified, share, all of those fun things. Leave a comment. I love the comments. Anyhow, guys, we'll catch you next video. Thanks for watching this one. Take care.